It is vintage Voltron. It is time to talk about
Yep.
BGG Spring Con and give our final thoughts.
Yes. And I was just checking the live to make sure we were being heard, and we are good to go.
Yeah, my headset is giving me issues.
But as long as you hear me, everyone can hear us. We're great.
That's true. I can hear you. I couldn't hear the
Man.
theme song, and I love our song. What's up, Michael?
Hey, what's up?
So we were going to do this yesterday. My laptop died. I watched the season finale of Survivor when I got home.
Oh,
And
you
I
watched
guess,
that too? That's funny.
and I
Our
guess
friend.
even my computer was mad that Aubrey won because it hasn't turned on ever since. So
Do you watch Australian Survivor too? My buddy over here is
I
obsessed.
I love Australian Survivor. I thought that
Yeah.
was a way better season.
Yeah, my friend is obsessed right now. I think he's almost finished all of it.
Mm-hmm. It's really good. This last season was better than Survivor 50. And
Yeah.
Survivor 50 was good. It was actually a good one, better one. I didn't like the winner, but I thought it was a good season. But Survivor Australia just continuously beats Survivor US now, for me at least. So I bought a new laptop.
Oh.
The only thing is, I forgot that Microsoft OneDrive loads everything you do in your computer to a drive. So now I just got to slowly download everything. So I have all my videos and everything,
Oh, good.
which I was worried. I was very worried. But there's only one thing. I still need to get the programs and the product key for my video editing software, or I'm going to have to pay for it again because I'm on the 30-day trial now. And my video key and everything is in the other one. That did not shift over. So that seems to be the only thing I lost, the expensive stuff, of course, but oh well. We're talking about BGG Spring Con. There's a few things I want to go over. We're going to go over the games that we checked out, even though these weren't, we played a ton of other games we're going to talk about as well, probably from each other.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a few things I want to share, and I don't care if it just gives more information than Bernardo is comfortable with. I found out that on this trip, meeting him for the first time, we both take allergy medicine.
Oh, yeah.
Like he takes it too for the same reasons, and if we don't, we get the same. I get congested. I used to wake up every morning before I took the allergy medicine. I used to wake every morning and blow my nose. And I was like, why do I do this? Why is it like I have a cold every day when I'm not sick?
Mm-hmm.
I blow my nose constantly in the mornings. And be stuffy and everything. And then if I don't take my medicine, I'll get itchy everywhere, And so we have to take it at the same time. It was kind of funny. I was like, whoa, wait, we got that in common. And then we found out we had another thing in common. We both play with the color yellow, and we do it for the same reason why. No one wants to be yellow, so we'll be yellow. And now we prefer yellow, even though that's not my favorite color. I prefer to be yellow because I've been yellow for so long. Mm-hmm. And to Bernardo's angst, I kept moving his pieces the entire weekend. Because I'm so used to being yellow. So I had to readjust my brain for red, which used to be my favorite color. And I always wanted to play red. But then everyone else fought over red. So I was like, that's fine. I'll be yellow. And so I stopped being red. And that was years ago when I first started getting into the hobby. So anyway, some fun things. And also, Bernardo is just a cool guy, as you would probably know. In real life, he is like he is. Actually, he's a really nice guy because he appreciates every game. He studies and he wants to say something nice about every game. He will tell you if the game sucks. He will analyze. You will analyze a game in your brain like I do. Like, okay, is this a break here? Or is this something else? Or is this a rule break? Is it on me? There's a lot of things that we do similarly. And so overall, I want to say that it was a lot of fun. My buddy Jesse got me to go. And so I already thanked him. And I also want to thank Bernardo for making it such a grand time because I'll be honest, just all the games that we got played was super fun. And even though this list has some stinkers on it, and yours does too, I know, we're going to go over all the games we checked out, and we were allowed to talk about any other ones we didn't. Yes, games were bought. Yes, games are coming in. Yes, I did receive my Wandering Towers refit.
Oh, did it
Yeah.
refit?
I haven't even opened it. I haven't even. That is like so low. Like I don't know the next time I will. Not that I hate Wandering Towers, because of all these new games coming in. I don't know when the next time I'll play. I mean, I love Wandering Towers, but Wandering Towers has been pushed to the bottom of this list right now because there's so many other games that I'm just so pumped about playing right now. So, and we're going to talk about those now. But I had 20. Now that wasn't. There's some games I brought to the table like Nova Roma, which was one of my number 2 game excited to play, but then found out the rules sucked and no one did a video explaining the rules very well. And I was like, this sucks. I rented out Underwater Cities, but then said, nope, don't like the rules. Heat. I wanted to see what the hype was on Heat. And you love Voltron and this ain't it. Yeah, this isn't Voltron. I know. It's vintage Voltron. It's the old vintage. It's not the new one. It's the vintage one. Hello, Edward.
I dare you to form Blazing Sword. That's funny.
Well, we did at BGG Spring Con. We did during a game. And we are going to talk about the game. But well, I can't remember what else I took out and then said nope. But there's a few. And the reason for that was as we got to the last full day, I started getting very picky about what I wanted to play. I was like, do I want to waste my time on this? Nope, we're going to stop here and go. Or nope, I'm going to change this out for something else. Now, we did form a Blazing Sword when we saw the board game called Gay Sauna. And it was right there in the kiddie section. I mean, meaning lower tier. Until someone
high level,
someone must have informed BGG that it was on the shelf, and so they moved it to the top tier shelf because it wasn't safe for work or for children. And the thing was, we were gonna rent it actually and play it because we were laughing about it. But then we saw one of the best board game reviews I've ever seen by Board Game Bollocks. And he did a review on this. And he is super funny, first off. But also, he hates the game and he hates it. He hates it and he's very smart about why he hates it. He said he liked that it was a daring theme. He wanted to like it.
He wanted to like it. You could tell.
He wanted to like it. But he said the mechanics are crap. It's absolute. And he's right. Because the whole time you're watching, you're like, wait. You just roll to see if you can hook it with this dude. And if you do, good. If you don't, move on to the next one. And it's like, wait, what? And it's like, there's no, the art's bland. He said the mechanics are just repeat and wash, rinse, and repeat. And he said he wanted to like this game, but it just couldn't. And I was like, oh yeah, well now I don't want to play it. Yeah, I don't want to waste for the funny thing we were talking about for the theme, we ought to play it. But at the same time, we're like, oh no, if the game sucks, then I don't want to play it. That I feel exactly as he did in that review. That's how I would have felt. But
the name isn't what's not safe for work. It was everything else. Like the back literally has a genital tracker on the box.
There's a genital track that you move up the track.
Yeah.
You can
horniness tracker, which is crazy.
You can take it. One of your actions is to move up the track. which again, I was like, let's go. But anyway, the game is very rinse and repeat. So we didn't check it out, even though Bernardo made some marvelous homemade mini expansion to it earlier. But no, we're going to talk about the games. And how many did you have?
So I kind of broke it up.
You had 15 earlier. Now, the thing is, I didn't count some of the games I already had, I owned, and I checked out.
That's fair. And to be honest with you, towards the end of the convention, I got to the point where I was just like, I just want to rent out games I've never played that I know Matt knows, so we could just run through.
Yeah, no, and And that was super fun for me. Yeah. That was, and if if those are on your list, well, so much better because I want to talk about those too. So, how many total did you have?
So I broke it down to 10 best games played, 5 honorable mentions, and 5 worst games.
Okay,
I also have a list of all games that we have played. I only have 25. I know I'm missing some, so I'll probably be writing some as you go, but that's just for me tracker.
That's fine. Okay, we're going to start because I have 20, you have 20. We're going to start with the ones we just hated. There is about 4 for me for sure that I hate. So let's go with number 20. What is the one that you hate? We're going to go backwards.
So, okay. So yeah, my number 1, I'm sure is probably the same. My number 5 is Wonders building game. I don't remember the name, but it's
World Wonders. World Wonders.
That was number 5 for me because the point system and the randomness of the tiles, it felt really clunky. I love tile placement games. I love aesthetically pleasing tile placement games, but it checked nothing on the box. It reminded me, and something not on this list, which also should probably be here, is what was the game that we were going there? Tapestry. It's a bunch of stuff to lay out. You gotta go digging for it when it comes up.
Yeah. Is that on your list though?
It's actually not. It should be.
But that's all right. That's all right. We'll talk about Tapestry later. But World Wonders, I'm going to go ahead and share here because obviously there's crossover. For me, this landed at number 14. It was, I'm glad I played it, but I'm with you. It didn't offer as much. I did like some of the objectives. You have these Tetris pieces that you're trying to put together in these different, it's hard to figure out, but after a while, if you can land some wonders in there, you can get some victory points and go up these tracks and get victory points. And in-game points can be different things depending on what buildings or wonders you get. There are a lot of great wooden colored, pre-colored bits in here. It has everything I think I would want in a game, yet I agree it came off as bland at the end. Again, I played it once. It was okay. That's not good. That's not bad, but it is definitely one that I would not play again. Mm-hmm. I just kind of, I've kind of moved on. So World Wonders for you. The worst one for me that I checked out, little bit excitement on it because I almost bought the entire collection one time, but said no, let me hold off because someday I need to play this first. Chronicles of Crime. Chronicles of Crime is so bad that during the introductory game, not the first case, they said, would you like to try an introductory case to see how it plays? We said, sure.
The demo.
We got stuck because we didn't know what else to do, and the game would not help us. It didn't give us hints. So we went to the detective, our boss. He said, go to this apartment, check out the murder. So we did. We found an item. We had the lab look at it, tell us it's poison. Okay, now what? Now look for clues. So we looked around. The lady was dead. Her cats were dead. There was cake eaten. So Bernardo and I assumed that the cake was poisoned, but there's no cake card. There's nothing else to say. We can't say. All you do is scan and then pick the question you wanted to ask. You can't type in the question. So we wanted to ask about the cake, if that was a clue or something, but no. So we go back to the chief, and he goes, you got to go back to the scene and find the clue. We did. Well, then we said, well, let's scan the other helpers, but the other guy is the autopsy guy. And he said, oh, you have to give him an item. And the only item we had was the poison. He went, you need to check with the crime lab with that. I was like, dude, we already did. And so when we got stuck, there's nowhere else to go and nothing to do. This is their introductory. They should be giving you hints. It
should be obvious for introductory for sure.
It should be how to play the game. And they weren't even, and we got stuck and going around in a loop. And I was like, I'm done. And it's total crap. Total crap. I like the idea of scanning QR codes that make the time, you're running out of time by checking back and forth. I like the VR looking around the room for clues. That's kind of neat too. But when your introductory gets you lost, Yeah, Edward. We could get you on another Minox Nest when we do that. We do those like yearly, right? I'd love that. That'd be fun. But anyway, yeah, Crimes Crime, total garbage. All right, so what's number 19?
So number 19, I almost feel bad putting this on here, but like it was that bad. Five Tribes. So this was when I wanted to play. I was so convinced I was gonna love the game because it does everything I want. It has tiles, not
Yeah,
tile placement, but it has tiles. It has meeples. It had a
yeah,
Mancala concept where you pick up
yeah.
the guys and abilities. From a design standpoint, the concept is really smart. However, and I love Bruno Cathala. I think his designing is really out there, and he has a lot of games I love. But man, was this awful! It was like I was. You almost felt like it like promoted analysis paralysis for everyone else. It and not because you don't know what to do, but because you're trying to find this most optimal thing, and it becomes this like this game is too light to be slowing down this much. And it's not for me, it's for everybody playing. And the abilities were just like, they made no sense. Then you had these gins, which just made it too clunky. You have this card thing on the side that just sounded like they were trying to throw a bunch of Euro concepts out there and see what stuck.
It's so clunky. It's hodgepodge. But what? By the way, folks, you pick up all the meeples, and when you play that last color, you get to take all those colors. So everyone was looking at all 36 squares, all 36, trying to figure out where the best match is. And you're right, for a game that should be simple mechanics, it is way too clunky, way too complicated. I played this at Gen Con years ago with Bruno, did not know it was him, was about to tell him the game sucked. Because he says, "What'd you think about the game?" I was like, "Well, actually, I think it sucked." I almost said that, but then someone came up to get his autograph, and I was like, "Oh!" So I just walked away. And I was like, "What?" Because I was excited to play that. And I said this in my Istanbul review. I got mixed up with Five Tribes. I forgot the name of the game years later, and I thought it was Istanbul I had played. I knew it was something Arabian. And then when I looked at Istanbul, I went, "Well, this isn't the game that I hated. What was the game?" And then I found it was Five Tribes, and then bought Istanbul, which is great. But Five Tribes, I just despise. But you know what? Here's the deal. I was happy when you rented it because I even said this. I said, that was years ago, my first trip to Gen Con. I didn't know games. Maybe I was too hard. Maybe I will like it now. Boy, I still hate it. And I mean, I was playing it. I was going to go through with it. But you said, "I think we're done." I said, "I think we're done." I said, and I was very nice. I said, "Look, I hate the game. I remember everything that's coming back. I know why I hate the game. I will play it. I will not complain. I am fine complaining the game, but I hate this game." And I mean, I meant that. I was willing to play the whole game. I was willing to play it and try to get points. If you don't know, I was stacking up on yellows because yellows are in-game points, and I had at least 10. So I was going for yellows where I don't know the strategy of the other ones. Why at red would you wipe out other meeples that can score you stuff? I don't understand.
The reason would be to make sure your opponent doesn't score since you don't have the ability to, but also camels end up being worth more in the game. If you like mathematically account it, you have those plus trees and those temples. It just would probably be all yellow in a landslide. But like I watched the instructions and I loved it. I was like, wow, this design is awesome. But you play it and it does not translate the same way.
It even looks nice and looks simple on the board.
Man, I love how it looks. I wanted to love it. Like, I still think about the game and I'm like, man, I wish I loved this game because it looks like everything I love.
All right. So my number 19 was one I got. And we played one round and I said, "Hey guys, I'm good." Winner Circle. Why did I get Winner Circle? First off, horse racing, fun. Now, guess what? You play out these tiles on each one of the, 7, 10 spots, and each one is a different horse. Now, there's one die with different symbols on it. Those symbols will be different numbers on each one of the cards, meaning a horseshoe may be 12 movement points for number 5, but horse number 7 only moves 3. And so what you're doing is you're placing out these blind bets, one of them being a complete bogus bet. It's a 0. It's a red herring. And so you're trying to trick your opponents while rolling dice and choosing the horse, not to choose the horse that you, because one is a 2-time, and that's the one you want to win. You get double the money, but you're trying not to give that away. Which one is your 2-timer? So you're moving other horses, but you're also trying to move other horses super slow so they won't catch up and beat your lead. And that to me was interesting. Now, Reiner Knizia had recently hit a home run with Bernardo and I with Modern Art, which I think is a phenomenal game. And
so good.
One of the best games I played this year. Honestly, one of the best games I played this year is it's so much fun. I had a blasty blast the last time I played it with Jesse and Jake. I told you about this. Just a 3-player game. And we had fun on a 3-player. That means a 4 or 5-player game would be bonkers good.
Yeah, I played 4. It was so much fun.
Yeah, if a 3-player auction game is fun, because I thought 3 players were going to be missing some of the fun. And we were not. I was like blown. I was like, wow, this is really good at 3. I mean, even at 3, it's good. That shocked me. And the thing is, the bets start getting so bad. So I'm looking for more Reiner Knizia. I come across Winner's Circle. Of course, it looks fun.
Is that Reiner as well?
Yeah, it's Reiner. That's why I got it. Reiner Knizia. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's Winner's Circle. That's why I got this, because it looks really nice. It's a Reiner game. I said, okay, let's go. Well, halfway through the game, I realized the spot I thought was the finish line was not. And I went, well, wait, where is the finish line? No, it's about 36 spaces on the other side. And you have to, even though the first 3 horses have placed, you have to continue the agonizing race until the last place horse crosses, because whoever bet on last place loses 100. Wow. It is the most boring roll and move. It is a roll and move. It is a game disguise, a roll and move, a simple roll and move your man disguised as a smart board game.
Hidden bid on what you like. We're ranking the horses you thought were going to win. It was...
You thought this would be great. It was so samey. Do the same thing. Roll and move. Roll and move. And I realized really quick, we've been tricked into playing a roll and move game. We've been tricked in playing a roll and move game. And I told you, I said, after the first race was over, I said, I'm done. I'm done. Now, my double bonus horse won. I wasn't saying that to claim the quick win. I was saying that to get the heck out of Dodge. I'd have given all my money away just to not play another round of that. I was like, this sucks. Now, to be like I said,
were crazy incredible though.
Probably not one of his best, and the game goes for a lot of money for some reason. I guess because the pieces look nice. But this is not. Here's what Long Shot does better. Shot does better. First off, it only goes 1 lap. It only goes 1 lap. You are playing cards. You are betting consistently on horses the whole time. Sometimes you're betting on someone else's horse to win. Because even if they cross first place, if you had more money on them, you won. And people are finally figuring out that's my strategy to win every time, because they'll pick their favorite horse. Someone will buy a horse and try to push them across, like play cards to move them up the track. And I start moving them up the track too. And they're like, oh, he's helping me. And then they realize when he goes past the no bets area, which I love, because once they get about 2/3 down the track, you can't bet anymore on them. And when they get 2/3 down the track, that's when he realizes he has $10 on that horse. I have 25. I'm making a killing off that horse. And so now it's so funny, because now they start trying to sabotage their own horse from winning, but it's too late. And I love the panic on their face. Long Shot is phenomenal, because after the 3rd person crosses, the race is over. The game is over. That's it. It's done. Add up your money. It doesn't overstay its welcome. And it's almost the exact time that it took us to play 1 round of Winner's Circle. Winner's Circle is a joke. One of the worst games we played. I picked it. My bad.
And have you played the Universal Monsters board game? We actually saw it there. We didn't. I have played Horrified. It's a Universal Monsters game. It's very good. But I guess for me, it's the 3rd worst game I played. Potion Explosion. So here's something crazy. I've known about this game for a while. It's on those lists of the Sagrada, the Azules, the games I had never played that I've been curious about. Yeah. Potion Explosion seemed to be an interesting game. The mechanic of the marbles, the one touches the other like Candy Crush. You take them and
it looks good. out
It
on the
does.
outside the box. We were oohing and ahhing over the
We thought we
box.
were gonna love
The
it. We were
marble.
super convinced, even when we couldn't figure out the issue and what no one was
Well, hold
explaining
on.
in the rules.
I told you when we opened up, I said, I hope I don't like this game because I know it's expensive to get the
Yeah, I
old
know.
version, and that's what I want. But I was hoping it. But the thing was, the reviews, no one told us to flip over that you flip over the bottle when it's done, it changes color. In every video that I watched and Bernardo watched, they would show the regular side up and then skip and say, okay, let's move further in the game. You're like, wait,
Now
where'd you get
they're
those bottles?
they're tapping it for an ability. It's like, but you don't have
Yeah.
marbles on it. How are you doing this?
But where'd you get a brown marble, a black, a blue, or whatever, purple marble? Where'd you get all those? No, what they didn't show us is they were flipping it. Once you finish it, you flip it over. None of the videos we watched showed us that. I flipped it over and saw, and I went, oh. But no video showed that. He watched several, I watched several. It was driving us nuts. But this is my number 18 as well. So go ahead.
Yeah, so we get there and the whole concept, okay, this is cool. But then it became the two issues I had. The one was these potion bottles have different scores on them. So you're telling me I got to get lucky to grab the next one and pray that you don't then have a 10 coming up right after me? Like, that's insane. That is such poor design. I hate it when there's random scoring like that because this game's already random. And now you're telling me that they could just get a higher shot of getting lucky, which I don't.
To be fair, you had to get more marbles on those other ones.
Sure.
But you're right. If it's the end of the game and you need a 10 and I need a 10 and you got a 3, I got a 10. So now you got to do at least a 7 if one pops up. But all you can see is a 6 right now. And you have to take, and you can only take 2 potions. You can't break one. You can't throw one away. So you're trying to score a 6. I'm scoring a 7. I'm going to win. But that's not all. The tray was terrible. Horrible. The marbles kept pushing out. The pressure would push a marble out. And you had to put it back in. But the design to put it back in, it would roll back into the same hole. You had 7 yellows. You poured them all in. They went right back into the hole that was missing marbles.
But so even just like we would drop it there, and you would think you would create a slope system where they'd roll and figure itself out. It didn't. We had to like force it into those freaking holes. And then it became, we had like 5 of a color, 3 of a color, and we broke the potion, we put them back, and it's like we just put a bunch of colors in order. Like there's no randomizer here. It's just the same thing. We know what to expect every game.
Now you know what's now the other thing I didn't like. There was one time I'd saved up all my potions and I used them. I completed 2 bottles without pulling a marble, and then I got to replace those bottles and take my turn. Now you can't complete more than 2, but that was uber. I said, surely you can't use that many potions. Yes, it says move as many potions. And now I get it. I picked the right ones, by the way. I picked ones that had even yellow, green, black, or whatever. And I had the ones where you could pick one of each color. So I did that twice. But then I had the ones that repeat those actions. And I filled up both bottles without pulling a single marble. And I'm already ahead. And on top of scoring 2 bottles just like that, I was able to put plenty of marbles on my next 2 bottles. If I could have, I could have done 3 in one turn, but you can't. Also, when 2 of the same marble collide, you get all of them. However, we think from the rules, you can't keep them all. Obviously, you can keep them, but you can't just put them all in because you have one that says all marbles of one color is any color. Okay, so I grabbed a ton of red, but according to rules, am I allowed to hold that many? Because I was going to have extra, so could I use them all? I don't know. That seemed like a really powerful thing. So for me, I agree with you 100%. This is a game I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to like this game because we were oohing over it. And we're like, oh yeah, let's go. It's going to be great.
Great.
It's horrible. It was a horrible game. Horrible game. Easily both in our 18. Okay, so go on to 17. Oh no, I'll go on to 17 real quick because you've already talked about it, even though we didn't talk about it completely. We're getting out of no, we're not. This is still the hated. This is the last. Yeah, this is the last of the hated games for me. I'm going to go up to the meh after this. This was my number one most excited game, most desired game to play. And here it is on one of the worst games I played, and you're right. Tapestry. You said it was broken. What you meant was it was boring. It was going up nondescript tracks and just getting stuff to do stuff to get your points to do more stuff. Now, if my buddy Josh is watching, Josh, telling you right now, you bring Tapestry next time you visit, I will play it with you. I will. He was so disappointed that I hated the game. This is one of his favorite games. If he comes over, he brings the game, I promise I play it again with him. But you're going to have to work really hard because I thought the game was, and it's the design is boring. And the cards didn't, thematically, nothing really made sense for me. You're building a civilization of cell phone towers and ninja warlords. I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense. I just don't care for it. And I was so disappointed. Here's the absolute truth. The absolute truth. Going to BGG Con saved me. Every birthday, my birthday's coming up. Every birthday, I buy a game for me. My number one game that I was going to buy was Tapestry. I had decided, yeah, this game looks like it's my bag of tricks. My buddy Josh says it is. I'm going to buy everything. I'm going to buy the expansions too. I'm going to get that for my birthday because I didn't think. But when I was going to BGG Con, I said, well, now I can play a lot of games and see what other games I wanted to get on top of Tapestry. That's what I was saying. And I was so excited to play this. And here it is, folks, on one of the worst games we played. Number 17 for me, Tapestry. Number 17 for you.
It was pretty buildings and overproduced.
Edward, it's not exaggeration. You have these farmers, these Aztec farmers, and one next to a bunch of people on cell phones and robot cyborgs. And I was like, because it's the tapestry of man, how we progress. But it didn't make sense. Like at the end, you were getting off this little island and going to space. You had space travel technology. What? But it was like Star Trek, It
was like you have your own tracker, and it wants to build itself like an engine builder, but it's not. And it's a civilization game, yes. But the problem with the game is there's so much going on to try to look pretty that the design itself is just beat by almost every version of it. And you would probably just rather play a tile placement game as opposed to calling it civilization or like an area control. Like would it just been more action packed? The sit back and look at these pretty towers. First off, the setup on this was awful. Anyone that enjoys setting this game up is
1,000%. Okay, so all right. I need you to talk about 16 because I got to get some water, but hopefully it's one I can talk about too later.
The fishing game. What's the name of the fishing game?
Oh, okay. You're going to talk. I'll talk about it now.
Name of the fishing game.
Let's go. You're still in games you hated?
Yeah, I have two more and one you've already talked about.
It's called Freshwater Fly.
Yeah, this game was terrible. So first off, I'm not a big fisher. I have played some cool fishing games. Dice fishing, I think, is so much fun. And I rethemed one for Pokemon. Love it. But this game was you get this fish and you choose a real color and you want to try to collect these specific type of fish. And you have a random deck that says whether you get a fish or not, which is already bad in my opinion, because it was the design of that alone was terrible. Now let's add in the fact that you then have to catch a fish that would probably take us like 3 hours to get through. That was insane. It took forever to reel those fish in. It was a useless concept.
Yeah, the reeling of the fish is 85% of the game, and it's just it's selecting the largest die to try to get your reels around to take the same 4 actions on the wheel. And the thing is, it's so wild because it looked great. One thing I did like about this, and this was the okay. I mean, we reeled in a few fishes. I was like, I'm good because it's just rinse and repeat. However, this made number 15. There's another one that had a little similar flaw, and I could flip the two. Right now. I'll talk about it next. But Freshwater Fly for me, it had a unique theme. It had great components. It had a great look. I like your lure, which you can change, has to match one of the random tokens on the sideboard. And you always replace those random tokens at the end of every round, which I don't think we were doing because I've forgotten now, but it doesn't matter. But the thing is, though, you want to get your fly to match those tokens. And sometimes you don't want to cast upstream. You want to cast downstream so you can catch some of the fish that you want. Sometimes you can see the fish in the water, but you don't know how many points it's worth. And you don't know how much resistance it's going to give you, how big it is. I think that's kind of thematic. You can see there's fish. Maybe if you're a fisherman, you know what's in there. You can't tell how big it is, but you go for it. Now, he caught a bunch of minnows that didn't give him anything that I thought was funny.
That was the other frustrating part. It's like, so we don't know what they're worth, the fish are worth. So we're randomly trying to get the ones that make sense for us based on our little table chart. And it's like, dude gets 3, 4. Oh, cool. I got 1, another 1. And I'm like,
yeah,
my 2 fish that took forever to get to the end were worth less than their 1 fish. Insane.
Yeah, it was great. But anyway, the thing is, I like a lot of the mechanics of it. I like how as you're reeling in every time you're moving it further down the track, up the track to your boat. I like the finesse points you can use. However, if you can't, the thing is, this thing is structured to where high dice matter most. High dice are all what you need. If it's not a 5 or a 6, it's almost a waste of your time.
Yeah, well, 6
because
ruled it.
Because most of these fish pull out a 3 or 4 or 2. And so a 4 is not going to push them very much. You need that 5 and 6 to get that reel going. So if you grab anything at a 3 or less, you're basically just going to get 2 finesse points, which add pips to the die. So to make it a 6, make it a 7, make it an 8. So those are the big pulls you want. But then you keep reeling, and you'll go 4 turns reeling in that fish where you can't be casting anymore. So I believe this was a game made by fishermen who saw some board game mechanics and said, let's try to copy that. And it feels like a fishing game for casual gamers, meaning a bunch of people who don't play board games that much. They play party games, but they love fishing. They would love this game. They would think, oh, look, a game for me. Look at these neat little game mechanics.
You could fish
they
while
wouldn't
you
mind
play it because they take just as long.
Yeah, and you wouldn't mind playing that. Well, I think this is a game just for fishermen who maybe get someone into gaming because they won't mind the rinse and repeat nature of it. But they'll quickly but a board gamer will quickly come bored. Now, I applaud them for the look, the design, the artwork, the idea of reeling in that die, but you structured it to where it makes no sense to pick anything below a 5.
It takes forever.
It makes no sense. Yeah, and you got your reel too long. And I get it. You're trying to do the reel kind of like a rondelle in a way.
If we finished the game, it would have been 3 hours if we finished.
But instead of 7 fish, you should have said 4. If you really wanted the reeling to be the big part of it, because that's like 4 rounds of reeling that fish in. So you can't go 7 rounds like that. You can't go 7 fish like that. It's impossible. But good idea, poor execution.
Edward, I think the final count was 2,175 for how big the con was.
There's a lot of freaking people. It was so much fun, though. It was so much fun. I had the best time I will have all year long. I promise you that. Yeah, that's saying something. Okay, so that was 16 for you. 16 for me. This is okay, even though I believe the game had some flaws, and now I've thought a lot about it, and I figured out what was wrong with Hickory Dickory. Hickory Dickory, one thing that was wrong was we were playing this at 2:30 in the morning or possibly 3, and Bernardo hadn't slept in over 40 hours at that moment, and he was zoned out.
Was it that day?
Yeah, it was the first. Yeah, you were dead in the water. This is the last one we played. And the other thing was, now, by the way, the Hickory Dickory, your mice that run up the clock, the production and the art on this game is, honestly, if we were doing something on production and art, this would easily be top 5, if not the second most beautiful game.
Tapestry would have probably been number 1, honestly. It would be up there at least.
No, the Hickory Dickory would be one of the best. Yeah, it would be a top 5 in production and art together because you have this clock, these actual clock pieces, and it's beautiful. The hours are the rounds. That's wonderful. And the minutes are the minutes are the turns. So as the minute goes to the next 5-minute section, the 5, 10, 15, 20, those are your the turns. I love that. I love that. The mice look good. The artwork looked good. The pieces were
I
top
was scared I was
quality.
gonna like it. I was like, damn, this is gonna be so expensive for me.
Yeah, we said that when we looked at it. I was like, wow. And the gameplay is you put these mice, the mice hop on the clock, and they jump off at opportune moments where they can grab little tiles of little bits of yarn, string, buttons. And the point is you're wanting to hold it in your satchel and then jump on another spot where you can cash it out, where each token's worth a victory point. Each token with a matching symbol is another victory point. So if you had 3 spools, 3 times 3 is 9. So you'd add that. And if you had 3 pink tokens, that's another 9 points, because 3 times 3 is 9. So you're trying, you could get, 18, 19, 20, 22 points sometimes if you could, or other times maybe just 6, because you just see that many matching.
Smart element of the fat mice can push off someone else's mouse and make them miss an opportunity.
So the other thing is, if you can choose to get off. If you don't want to get off and take that action, then other mice can choose to hop on, but they can push you off, forcing you to take that action. Now, here's the deal. Here's where the game is flawed. There's only 2 spots that you can cash in your chits, and it has to be with that particular mouse that jumped on it, not just any of your 4 mice. There are bonus cards that if you have this particular color and this particular design will give you extra points, but it's super hard. It's super hard. That's funny. Super hard to get it. Now, there's a cat that comes out and he covers 2 spots on the map. Well, guess what? One of those spots for us was the scoring tile. So I thought about this. I thought, wow, that's awful, because there's very few places to score. Here's what it should be. Here, I finally figured out how they could fix this game. All right, you keep everything the same. 2 things you change. One is you make the choices, not just one, you make them either or. So there's 4 scoring opportunities on the clock, but if you don't want to score, you can also get a token or trade out one, or go to the spider's web and get one of the wild tokens, or one of the other options in the game. You can do that. Or it's either or. So you have 2 options because if you get bumped off, you didn't want to do that. So instead, if you bump off another mouse, that person's mouse gets 2 victory points. It's not much. It's not going to break the game, but it is going to make you think, dang, I've already bumped off 2 of his mice. He got 4 fast victory points. Now that's not game-breaking points, but that's plenty enough to make you kind of get a booby prize for getting bumped off and taking an action you never wanted. You didn't want to get bumped off. And the thing is, if someone took that tile's not getting replaced until the end of the round. So what's the point at that point? So I think it sucks, but if you had either or choices, that'd be more times to score, more times to do the things you really wanted. Everyone's trying to do the same thing. When their bags are full, everyone wants to score. Everyone. So they're pushing you off as fast as they can. So there's.
Go ahead. Continue.
No. But I think that's how you fix the game. But as it is, it just a little flawed. I liked it. Like I said, one of the best produced and beautiful looking games I've ever seen, but it was flawed. Go ahead.
I almost wonder if maybe what if every hour, right, every stop, you could score points. However, it was like a push your luck game. The longer you stay on and the higher on the hour you get, the more points it's worth. So do I want to stay on, or am I scared my opponent's going to push me up? Even something like that would have been a little more interesting. But more scoring options would have been relevant, because then my mouse is stuck there and I'm like, oh, now I got to wait forever.
True.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was beautiful though. That was my number. What was it? 16. Did you give your 16?
My last one on this of the 5. You can go. I've already.
Oh, the 5. You're about to do 5.
Yeah, if you want to get your water, you've already done this one.
I'm ahead, so you go ahead and do your. I guess this would be number. What, 16?
This is my number 1. This is my number 1
worst one. Yeah, got it.
Which was Chronicles of Crime. So if you want to get your water,
you talk about it. I'm gonna get my water. I'll be right back.
So Chronicles of Crime, for the same reasons Matt didn't like it. We tried the intro round and it just it was so confusing. It didn't guide you in any way like a game should for an intro. But what I think was worse, and let's imagine in a perfect world, because he's already talked about this, the game worked and functioned exactly how we wanted. You scan these things, you talk to these people, you solve the mystery, you find the object. The game was basically scan this QR code, scan this QR code, look here, look there. That is so boring. That almost defeats the whole purpose of it being a board game. Like for that, we're playing a video game. Just play a crime video game at this point. Because, okay, I have to scan for this to talk to this person. Oh, we have this new VR option where we're looking around the room. Oh, there's the cake. The only item in the room right there in the middle of the floor has to be the cake. Now let's take that information, go to the scan the QR code on the poison guy. Let's talk to him and let him know it's there. Oh, he says that we need to do this. Oh, well, let's go to this person, scan this QR code. It became this this anti-board game from what I feel. Like, I don't hate apps and games typically, right? Like I love Return to Dark Tower and games that utilize it well. Even Mansions of Madness does a great job. But to basically make the game the way that it was designed is just, it's so boring. Like, man, I was basically telling them, like, even if the game worked how it was supposed to, we would literally just scanning QR codes the whole game. That's not fun.
It was very samey. Yeah, I agree. All right, so your meh games, your okay games, you start with your number 15 there, because you're still trying to catch up with me.
Yeah, so these
I'm already at meh.
So he's
my
on
15.
I'm calling
my 15 was fresh. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm calling these honorable mentions. So I have 10 best games play. These 5 are games that like I liked, but they didn't make my top 10. So I don't want to call them meh because I don't think they were bad. The first one,
go ahead.
Praga was the number 5 honorable mention for me. I liked what the game was trying to do. I think the design on how you score points in each different section was really smart. The things I didn't like about it was it felt like a lot of moving pieces for what felt like a really simple game. They tried to like overproduce cardboard, and I think those games typically look ugly. Those are the games that they go back later and make a deluxe version when they should have just did that the first time. Like the whole little step system made of cardboard, like that, the way that stuff fit in the box was already just comical. Like there's too much going on to set up for a game that really offered a smart level of gameplay that I would get in like Lords of Waterdeep, for example, right? There was a lot of great decision making in a similar fashion. Obviously way different games, so I'm not really comparing them. But like I didn't have to set up a whole freaking shrine for what felt like the same level of gameplay. Even Queen Games doesn't do that to me, and they add a million tiles to their games, which already makes me upset just thinking about it. But that was my biggest complaint, was the setup. It took a little bit to grasp for a second, but once it clicks, you like understand where you need to do to win, which I love. The different paths of victory, they all felt strong, which is very rare for games like that. Sometimes when people are playing, you're like, oh, there's no way that anyone's beating this method. And this didn't feel like that, which was good.
Okay. And then number 14, because mine was World Wonders. It was all right, but I'm done. So go ahead. What's your number 4, I guess, on the okay games to play?
Yeah, 4 on the honorable mention was Cities. It was one that Jesse had presented. That game was really smart. I liked how chill it was. It reminded me of King Domino. It was really simple. You choose whether you want buildings, you choose whether you want these items like a boat in your little water section. It's tile placement. It was pretty. You have these little towering buildings. Really chill. There's not a whole lot of like immense strategy because it still does rely on the cards, but it was relaxing in the same feel that I get with King Domino. The only reason why it's honorable mention and not in like the top 10 best games is because I don't think it solves the problem for me for tile placement, and it doesn't replace any of the ones I currently have.
Gotcha. So Cities, there you go. I need to start putting these up. I'm sorry. Give me your number 13, your 3, right?
And my 3 honorable mention would be Sagrada. That game was a lot of fun. That game was a lot of fun. It didn't make top 10, I do think I'll get that at some point. It's definitely
Yeah,
not like me going to rush to grab it.
yeah,
I liked the puzzle, what felt like a Sudoku kind of puzzle where you can put green here, but you also need a 6 here, and you can't have a
yeah.
6 in a 6 touching, and if you get them both in the same row, you can't score for this. So there were a lot of really cool scoring options. I could see the vision for how much replayability it has, which is cool. It's beautiful. I'm just not always a huge fan of games that are entirely centered on randomness. Even though there's placement
You,
strategy, there's not really anything I can control in some of it,
you,
especially for the scoring opportunities.
you're going to like the 4 and 5 player expansion where you roll your own dice and you have your own dice pool that you know
Oh yeah, you showed me that.
that you're going
Yeah.
to pick from. And that really helps out with the random because now there's only one random factor you have to pivot and maneuver. And then you already know the dice you have to fit already in. And it really changed. Like usually I haven't played without the expansions in years. That was the first, I think the only time I ever played without the expansions was at the Phoenix convention, gaming convention. That first time I ever played. Because when I got Sagrada, I got the 4 and 5 player expansion. I was like, dude, I'm never playing without this. So when you get the other expansions, I think it's going to get better because that is very fair assessment there. I did enjoy the game the first time I played it too. I was like, because it was all the hotness back then. It's like, it's
Yeah.
not that good. But I was like,
As a
oh,
staff,
okay,
though.
there's a game. There's a game here. There's a game here. You got me. But yeah, okay.
And I
So
think when I look at just the based on what we played, it doesn't replace a game like Las Vegas for me, which is basically doing the same, but like I don't have to take that game as seriously. But that's my last bit for that. Sagrada, it was fun though. Yeah, I did enjoy it, and
yeah.
I will play
So
again.
there you go. So one of the games, and now we're in the games that I enjoyed, but they didn't make my top 10. It's going to be, and I'm going to explain in a minute why. Hot Streak. Hot Streak was a lot of fun. It's a mascot race. Mascots are doing crazy stuff. They're turning around. They're back. They're tripping over. They're bumping into other people's lanes. They're bumping people off. You never know who's going to win, but you're betting on this crazy zany race, and you're laughing. You're having fun. The game's super quick. It's over in like just a few minutes. It is a true, and the box looks great. The design looks great. The figures look great.
Your kids would love this game. They
When
would
I
be
said production wise, this is one that's right up there with Hickory Dickory. It's just really well done. All the mascots have eyes on their chest or neck to signify there's someone inside the mascot uniform. It is just absolutely wonderful. And it's not on my buy list, even though I love it. And I would play it again. I would play it in a heartbeat. But why? Why is it not? Because Magical Athlete is a better game. Bernardo brought Magical Athlete, and since I didn't check this game out, I didn't count on my list. But Magical Athlete is I wouldn't say far superior game. It's just more of a gamer's game. Hot Streak is, and you called it. You said this is like a party game, a fun party game, and I agree. It is a fun party game. It is a game that I would never say no to. Right? I'd always say, "Oh yeah, Hot Streak. Yeah, I like Hot Streak." But if you said, "Matt, you want to play Hot Streak or Magical Athlete?" Magical Athlete. I want to see the different combinations of the different characters racing
It's
against
so
each other
funny.
in
It's
two
so
different races. And it's zany, just like Hot Streak. It takes a little bit longer because there's 2 races. But to
no,
be fair, it's more fun. It's more fun. And Hot Streak is a lot of fun. I'm not dogging Hot Streak at all.
yeah.
Like I said, this is a great game. I will not buy this game because if I was to buy a game, it's going to be Magical Athlete. That was just way more fun.
Yeah,
And
and
I think everyone was in agreement, even though we all loved Hot Streak. There was no one complained. No one said this game sucks. No one said that. We all had a great time playing it, but I think we all agreed that Magical Athlete was better. Made by the
yeah,
same company, so yeah.
and one's more of a racing, which is Magical Athlete, and this one's more of a betting. I think if you're thinking of what game this could replace, if you're still playing Camel Up, get rid of it. This is just a better game.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have Camel Up. I need to figure out a way to get rid of it because I just think that's the game it solves its place for. Outside of that, Magical Athlete, I agree. It's
Yeah.
great.
Okay. All right. So what is your number? What is it? Number 3?
So this would be number
good.
2 for honorable mention.
Oh yeah, 2 for honorable mention.
Would be Pulsar. Ooh, this I'm sure is on Matt's top, so I won't talk too much. But it is a planetary base game. You have your ship. You are moving through space to obtain points. You can do little galaxy wormholes and score points there. You can move up this tracker which can get you points in a bunch of different ways. You pass through planets, setting your little cubes there. Having the most can get you points. There's a lot of different areas in the game to score. There's ways to modify your dice, which I love when games do that. I think it's super relevant when dice are essentially a crux to the game. You all roll dice and it moves the little lever meter as to where the center point of the dice is, because if you take too high of a die, which you really want, it will pull one of your trackers down, which puts you in a dead zone. Really smart game mechanic. Also determines what order you go into in the game, which is also relevant. So it had a lot of great mechanisms for scoring, and it was another one of those games that I felt like there were a lot of hidden ways to win the game that I think could be explored. My only fear is if Matt might have been onto something where getting the most planets might be the biggest point system. I'm not sure. It would take more gameplays to really know that.
Right. I'll talk more about this later. You are correct.
Yeah.
One of mine, and like I said, just rank these. I'm still in the, I was fine playing these. This one moved down my list a little bit. I think at first I would have had this higher, but there were just better games we played throughout the week. Macro was there. Crime City. It's a fun little Where's Waldo puzzle thing. When my girls get a couple years older, I may get one because this would be fun to go through together and have fun looking at. I did a few easy cases. I enjoyed it. I know they've come out with like 3 more expansions or something, and a kids version. There is a kids version out there. I need to look at that. Probably just bigger drawings. But the thing is, though, it is fun. It's like a Where's Waldo murder mystery thing. It was fun. It's only a 2-player or solo game, really. In actuality, it's probably just solo for an adult. However, it is a little fun game. And I only can wonder that after you've played it once, you'll never play it again because you automatically know where to look for everything. So it's a one and done, which also gives me some. Now that I'm back thinking, I'm thinking back, like, I don't know if I want a one and done, but if I find it for a good price, a used, it should be good.
Time Stories?
Get it for the Time Stories. I'm going to play through a third time. I think Time Stories. I have a buddy of mine from Team B. I have Team A and Team B. Team B is right now. One of the guys from Team B spun off his own group, bought the entire series, and is playing it, and is texting me and talking to me every weekend going, dude. I said, what'd you do? Brotherhood of the Coast. I went, dude. He went, dude. And I mean, he's still being surprised by they went a different route. He said, does something happen when you do? I'm not going to do spoilers. I went, yes. He went, so I said, you should totally do it. And he saw me this week and he went, no, he saw me last week and he went, dude. I went, did you do it? He went, dude. I said, yeah. He went, it changes. I said, it changes the whole story, doesn't it? I said, it's awesome. And he's like, yes. I said, yeah. Because when they decided to go the other way, I was like, why are they doing it that way? And there was a different story. I was like, wait, where are we? What is going on? We're in a different story. So it's really awesome. That game is just phenomenal. It is phenomenal. I'll never find one like it. But anyway, don't get me started off Time Stories. All right, go on to what was your number? This is number one honorable mention.
Number one honorable mention. Another one of Matt's probably top 10 games. Vasco da Gama. I don't even know.
I did not think this was going to be an honorable mention of yours. But go ahead.
It's funny. I don't even know if I feel like this is a true Euro game, but it was the only game that was like I guess Matt's list of games I'd never heard of, where I still think about it. I'm like, man, it made me feel like I did when I first played Istanbul. And I love that game. And I still haven't played with the coffee expansion. I'm terrible. I need to play that. But though the different ways, the idea from selecting a number to choose what order you go into, and if your opponent chooses one higher than you and gets the thing you wanted, it kind of screws you out of everything. But then if you get too greedy and you pull too high, one of those things tiles will flip over that basically say it's worth way too much money, and now you're losing money doing the actions that you thought you were being smart with your opponent. There's so much fun element to it. I will admit that is a random element to it, but I think it's random in a justified way because there's still other ways to win the game. It just stops you from being greedy, which I think is a really good thing to have in a game like that, especially what could feel like a point salad had that didn't exist. Because then it would just be like, well, I don't care about money. I'm just going to get the best thing. In this case, it's like, well, I can't afford to not care about money because I won't be able to afford it. So it's really smart. It has a pressure luck. It has a strategy on what different ships and crew you want to build in order to move up the track in a better way. Do you want to score the 11 victory points by going on 11, which is all the way at the front, which gives you less stuff as you go through the game? Or do you want to pull it back a little bit? But then if your opponent puts it too close, they could run into you, which will then ruin everything for you. So it had a lot of things I liked. It's one of the few that I still think about. I'm like, man, I really like that game. I don't think I'd ever own it personally, but I would definitely play it again without thinking, for sure.
Okay, well, there you go. My last one on my list, the one that I thought was okay. Let me see where I can put it here. Oh, yeah. The one I thought was okay, and I do want to play it again because I'm still up in the air. This is one that you taught me off the ledge off buying last year. And I said, you're right. Maybe I should play it. I played it, and I feel like I still don't know whether I should get this or not because I need to play it again. Tang Garden. Tang Garden is tile matching. I love tiles, love tile matching, but also you're setting decorations. And what none of us realized until the end, there is a big strategy of putting tiles on the board. We were so concerned with getting our tiles out there, upgrading our board to get more people, to put the characters out. But those characters did not score as much as I thought they would. And what was the bigger scores was you putting out decor while everyone else is laying down the map. If you run away with decorations, you have won the game. There are huge points. And we realized that when we were looking over, I was like, oh no, you only got one pair of bird and fish. If you would have got, or Jesse only got one pair of these two flowers. If you gotten more, he'd have gotten more points. You only got one pagoda. If you'd have gotten 4, you'd have gotten 36 points. And then it started dawning on me. I was like, oh, this game is twofold. And of course, if you're either setting out tiles or you're setting out decor. And then we thought was the crux was you putting out your little man and whatever they're viewing, pagodas, fish, ponds, hills, rivers, dragons, whatever they're looking at, you get points for. But it's way, way more than that. And we didn't find that out till after we scored. And I was like, oh my gosh, I only won the game because I got through the most upgrades and whatnot. I had the most men out on the board. But the thing is, though, anyone could have beat me by getting just a 2 more sets of birds or fish, or 2 more sets of flowers, or like you get 3 more pagodas. You've killed me just on that score alone. And that's when I realized, I went, oh no, there's more strategy we missed. And now I need to play this game yet again. Now the thing is, crunch for time. There were games we did repeat. They're going to be on our top 10 for sure. But this was one game I would love to get back to the table again and try again, because now what I know about we didn't get decor till the very end. And it feels like decor that's nice, but we couldn't see the points. All we were doing decor for was so our man could point and look at it. So we could get those, what turned out to be little points, really, not really that big points. And so if we were to play it again, how would my strategy shift, and would it be enough to get this game in my collection? Because you can get everything in this all in, can be really cheap.
Yeah,
but
I think I agree with needing maybe to play it again at least on your end. I'm convinced I don't need it, is because I now wonder if that knowledge will break the game.
It won't break the game. I figured that out too, because you can't let someone get away with tiles either. If they get tiles, then they are just running rampant on special abilities. You are just setting up extra points for all their men to score and look at things. I mean, you're just making it more beautiful for me to score even more points on my men, because the more decors that's out there could lead to more victory points. So I think you need a honest to goodness balance. We were all going hard on tiles and light on things. But if one person would have gone hard on decor, they would have won. I like that. I like a game that makes you do both strategies, because if someone runs away, Burano is one of my favorite games. I showed you about it. The rule book is garbage. I'm going to just go ahead and brag. I'm the only person to do a good review on this because everyone else just they didn't understand the rules. The game is so smart that if you let someone run away in the Lace Factory, you score very little points every round. Fishing is where your big points are. So everyone becomes fishermen. They go fishing. But I always take over the Lace Factory because it's called Union Bonus at the end. That Union Bonus, folks, can give you up to 50-something points at the end of the game. But on top of that, you're scoring 20-something points the first round, 35, 36 points the second round, 38 points. And on the fourth round, the last round, you're scoring 50 points. So even though everyone's scoring these fish the whole time and they're moving around the board, you are going to eclipse them on round 3. And by round 3, it's too late. They realize that they've left you in the Lace Factory because it was little points. But then it's big points if you have tons of people. And I love that you cannot let someone run away with one strategy. And I think Tang Garden was it. But again, it is not on the buy list because I need to play it again. I haven't given up on this game. But it was good. It was good, but it wasn't great. All right, so number 10 of your best games that you played. Go for number 10.
It would be Through the Desert. So it's
you've been wanting to play this game for a while.
I did, and I have realized because we played with the wood, which I think, from my understanding,
keep talking. I need to get my charger. Hold on.
Yeah, I think after looking further, well, I'll wait because I think Matt should hear this. But essentially, Through the Desert, a lot of people compare it to Ticket to Ride without the cards, where you are placing your camel, and you have your lead camel with the guy on the camel, and first you start off by placing those, which reminds me a little bit of Catan because you're starting with your little starting point pieces, and then throughout the game, you are placing 2 camels to try to complete that trail. You can go for longest trail, similar to what you would think of in Catan, but you're also, and where the idea people compare it to Ticket to Ride is how you're placing your pack to cut off other individuals from completing their pack. It's really smart. My only complaint, and I found this out, it looks like the deluxe pieces that are separate are the wooden ones. The plastic ones are the ones it comes with. The plastic ones are the only ones you need. The wooden ones are really hard to tell what color's what. It's really poorly done. It's a shame because I think the wooden ones are better pieces, but I think the plastic is just easier to see by a mile. But I think the game was a lot of fun. It's virtually a party game, if I'm being honest.
It's not a party game. It's a strategy game. You're trying to do some
strategy.
It's area control. I agree, though. I thought, and I was very disappointed with the paint job on it because we all were having trouble finding whose camel was whose. And in an older game, I understand that's a production flaw they didn't think of. But nowadays, you're telling me someone looked at that and said, "Yeah, this works."
That's a newer version. That's a newer version, which is crazy.
That's why I said that's crazy that they'd have such a production error like that, like a big goof. I mean, and you could not tell, and we're not even colorblind. A colorblind person would die.
Yeah.
So it's the reason this. I mean, well, I didn't check this game out, but that was a big flaw against it. The game as overall was fine.
Yeah, it was fun.
I had no problem with the gameplay. I had no problem with that, but I just thought, wow, how can you come up like Wandering Towers expansion while we're at it? How did you not know that cut would not fit that board, and you put it in the box and sold it anyway?
It's truly crazy. Different shapes.
There's just no excuse for errors like that. So yeah, that was the only flaw with Through the Desert for me. But I agree, it's a great game. One of my games that I have, and this I'm still rank mine a little bit differently. This was in the OK, but this is right there with Tang Garden. This is a game that I need to play again. Mainly because I kind of goofed on the rules on the first act and may have screwed Bernardo. But it's Teotihuacan is the last game we played. You're building a pyramid. It's dice placement, but your dice are actually graduating. When they get to be a 6, they ascend, and you get a special bonus. And the round marker moves. Also, when you're building the period, the round marker moves. And so you go until you get hit 3 rounds, and when there's an eclipse and there's a scoring phase. This game I found was very cool. I liked it. I liked dice placement. The problem was, the rule book was torn to crap, and we had a problem with that with a bunch of these. The rule book was like, I get it because they're library books.
Well, it wasn't. I don't think it was the rule book crap. It was missing pages.
It was missing. That's what I said. It was missing pages. It was beat to crap. Also, obviously, there are two different versions of this because Rodney's talking about having 5 die, and there's only 4 die in the game. And Rodney's saying it's a 3 for Coco to get out of that lot thing. Well, I don't want to go into it. But the thing is, there's a big confusion because we couldn't find all the pages in the game to verify the rules, but it made sense. But from what Rodney was saying, I could already tell he was wrong because he's saying 5 die, and there was 4 die in each bag. So it was possible we were missing 1 die, but not all of them. So obviously the game has changed, gotten different editions. We didn't get the right one. I either want to play this one or there's another one I was told that I was supposed to get instead. My buddy said, no, you played the wrong one. Because he said one of these, I liked two. These are called T games or whatever, the T series games or whatnot.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I got Tubisana, Builders of Ur. I loved that game, but it was one of the worst game sessions I ever had one night. And my game group said, well, we don't want to play this again. And I felt so awful because I love the game. It was a really good game, but because I knew right then and there, no one would ever play this with me, I had to let it go. And that's everyone's least favorite. And that was my number one favorite. But someone did tell me there's another one I need to do instead. So maybe I'll do this one, but I actually want to play this one again because I feel that, I need to get a solid rule set of what's going on, and then play through it and see if I like it. Cause I did enjoy it. It is not on my buy list though. Not on my buy list. Anyway, that's number 10. All right. So what is the 9th best game?
Teotihuacan. That's funny. The
Teotihuacan.
I think it's something of the Obelisk is the one you're thinking of because that's a game I want to play. I'm assuming. Okay. I think it's another T game. I have to look.
Yeah, later. I can't remember what the name of it is, but someone just told me when I told him the other day. He's like, "No, man, that's I told you to do this one." I was like, "Oh, okay,
gotcha." Number 9 for me, best games played, Marco Polo. This is one that I checked out. Matt showed me how to play. It was one that he ranked pretty high as a game. I very much enjoyed it. I'm still unsure whether it has a place in my collection yet. I think I need more plays to really make that decision. I think the point system's genius. Yeah, I think from a worker placement standpoint, you could tell why it's so favored. It's super clean. It's simple. I was kind of afraid of the game when I first saw it. It was nothing to it, especially after one that ranks one higher than this. But yeah, great game. I really have nothing else to say other than that. I don't have any notes on it.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. I'm going to talk about another one that was my number 9. Now we're getting into games I like, but I'm not getting only because price point. Vasco da Gama is too much. They want $90 for this game, $95. They're dreaming. It's a $40 game at best. $30 is really the price.
It's like a $25 game to be honest with you.
Yeah, to be honest, to be fair. But the thing is, though, the game is good. But where the Tootsie Roll is in that Tootsie Roll Pop is as you're putting your markers on the board, you're also selecting what number they're going to go in. Well, Matt, why don't I just pick number 1? Because you have to pay. There's a certain marker that will move up and down. It'll start at one of the numbers, 4 through 12, and a tile will say where it starts. Any numbers that are behind that, lower than the marker are going to cost you money. So money is tight in this game. So, but the beautiful thing is, before you start the game, before you start the round, you put your pieces out. Let's say the marker's at 8. Well, Bernardo, this is actually what happened. Actually, Bernardo got a 6 and put his marker down someplace. Then later on did a 7 in the same spot. Well, if I want to get in there, I better pick a 5. That's the only way, even though he has 2 people there. He put him there a long time ago. If I pick a lower number than him, I could go before him as long as I pay the cost. Now, the rub is when you flip over the next tile before the round, before you start taking your actions, that marker is going to move 1 or 2 spaces back, making things cheaper, or stay the same, or move 1 or 2 spaces up, making things more expensive and screwing you in the process because these actions have to be taken in certain turns for you to deliver big points. And that is the crux of the game. That is so much fun to figure out, to take that. You're almost pushing your luck. And on the last round, Bernardo would have won this game, folks. He would have won. He had 3 ships ready to sail. He just needed to get the actions ready. And I knew what he was doing, and I had to go with a lower number, but it was going to use, I said, man, this is going to use all my money. Even if it goes up by 1, I'll still be able to do it, but at least I can beat Bernardo to the punch and take that ship he wants and sail it. Now, he's still going to be sailing 3, and he may beat me anyway, but at least I can steal that 1 ship I know he's going for. Folks, when we flipped over that tile and it went to 2, both of our game, no one scored points. I loved it, by the way. I loved it. I ended up winning. I had the lead, but when that thing moved up twice, I went, we looked at each other. I said, that screwed me. I went, it screwed you too. And it screwed him more because he had about 3 captains. He had 3 ships ready to go, ready to sail. He needed to get a crew. And then now he can't do anything because he picked 2 low numbers. But that was the beauty of the game. That's the beauty of the game. And I like the special characters. They do things, but they're not that powerful. Like, you need the missionary to get the largest ship, but you still have to crew the largest ship. You need the boat guy sails. He gives you a minor bonus, but he can fill up little spots on the board faster to make your guy elevate and give you more points or more bonuses every round. What was the other one? Oh, the king gives you an extra bonus token, but it's you'll be the last person to take an action. So it's not as powerful as you think. And then finally, you can be first player, which is nice, not necessary, but nice, because remember, it's the lower number, not who goes first. However, you also get 2 victory points, which isn't bad. So all of these are like weak little character abilities, yet we fought over them. We fought over them because this is a game of inches. This is a game of inches. Money is so tight. It's a game, but it's not annoyingly tight. I never felt annoyed I didn't have everything I needed to sell my ship, man my ship. And I never felt annoyed because you really had to focus. But the crux was picking that number to go with your token. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So for that reason, I loved it. And to be honest, if it was in the $30, $40 range even, it'd have been bought. $90. No, not even 45. I said I'd go 40. I don't think I'd go 45 for that game. So insane, not worth it.
I would probably consider just owning it, but it's a weird game. I don't see getting a lot of play in my groups, but that'll lead me to number 8, best game played, the one before Marco Polo that kind of prepared me for it, Stone Age.
Oh yeah,
another classic that Matt showed me how to play. I checked it out. It was on my list of games I needed to try because I'd been thinking about this game since I got into the hobby. But when I looked at it, I was like, man, I don't think I can learn this on my own. And I have friends that have it and they liked it, but I never got around to like linking with them to play it. My only hold on getting it is finding out from people that I know that own the game what actually comes in what editions to find out which ones they think are better. I think everyone told me the snow one was the one to get. I just need to actually hear why so I can logically be explained like what my reasoning for, but I do think the game is super clean. I like that the new one does have a vinyl cup instead of leather, even though it's kind of fun smelling that stinky cut made of leather that's been in there, which smells like it's been in there for 50 years. But Stone Age was really smart, really clean, really fun. There weren't a lot of things to think about. You kind of knew what path you wanted to choose because you've made your decision early in the game and you got to commit, which I really like. Great game. One of the best worker placement games I played during the trip. But yeah, number 8.
Yeah, very good, very good. My next one, I'm actually making a last minute change. That was super fun. I want it. Game's too expensive though. Shocked me. I'm going to talk about it and want to buy it again, but Defenders of the Realm. I wanted to play this because it looked kind of fun. But I said, I'm just going to get it out of my system. I did not think it was going to be a game I wanted, but the game this came out in the aughts. They still make expansions for it today. That's why when I was 2022 was the last expansion they had out for it.
Okay.
So they're still making expansion. Now they're minor expansions at this point, but still the thing is they make it like a light version of Dungeons and Dragons. As I found out what this is. You're different heroes that do different abilities that fight villains, and it is roll and hit. But it's not roll and move. Moving is action. You have set actions. Everyone has special abilities. Bernardo was the horse rider. He could move faster on travel. Jesse was the archer. He could shoot a square away, which is huge. And then I was the magician. I could teleport for an action. It burned an action, but I could teleport. So between all of us, we had, and I can't remember who Callie was, and I looked at the warrior. The warrior gets a +1 in battles, which is everything's easier for him to kill, which is great. But the thing is, though, you need a good match. You're trying to defend Monarch City, which is the middle of the board. And it's not like Pandemic. It's not where they're all coming every round, because the spaces on the board are so big that in 4 turns, the villains could get there. Well, that'd be impossible. So what they did is you have to draw these cards. And if villains are at this one circle and can if the next circle is where they can go, you may advance them. But only one of the 4 corners will advance. So it's a slow advancement. There was one time that Monarch City was surrounded almost. And we didn't know who we should attack because you never know which one of them, if any, are moving. Bernardo saved the day by riding into town and slaughtering a bunch of it. Because at the end of the round, if there's any villains in your city, at the end of the turn, you lose. Bernardo rode in like a champion because we were all too far away and won. I remember Jesse went to Monarch City once and shot everyone from a square and saved the day again. But the thing is, I also love that we were going out and you have to complete quests, go all around the board to get these quests. I did one with dragons because they had the dragon expansion in there. So we had all 4 dragons. And I thought everyone would be roll, move, fight, roll, move, fight. No. You had to complete 4 quests and then go to this spot to get rid of the red dragon. You had to go here and be with another player, and then you both discard 2 actions, and then you defeat the black player. Then for the green, you had to go here. And I was like, oh my God. And the blue one was the only one you had to fight in our scenario. But if you fought him early, he was super powerful. If you fought him last, because all he is a roll and hit, with modifiers, you could probably kill him. But if you fought him last, every dragon that gets defeated, he gets weaker. And so they kind of make you, and we had him last. But here's the thing. I even sometimes it says, goblins get into Monarch City or something easy gets into Monarch City. It's an easy kill, but you got to go kill him. And there was just one guy in there. I'm the magician. I could have teleported to Monarch City and killed him. I didn't. I forgot he was there. During my turn, I forgot he had moved to Monarch City. I did not kill him. I was shooting after the dragon. And then I looked after my turn and I went, wait, was he there the whole time? And Callie said, did we lose? I went, yes. But I love that. It made me forget the objective is protect Monarch City. The only way we lose. If we
just go slay the dragons, but we can't get to them unless we kill the guys.
It's excellent. And the thing is, there are warlords and ogres and other villains, generals that we could have fought besides dragons that also have different abilities. There are different hero packs. There's the latest one that came out was Catacombs. You play some cards and you're going down into the catacombs of certain areas on the board and encountering spiders, cave spiders and whatnot. And I'm going down the rabbit hole looking at all these expansions going, I will never, ever be able to afford all this. You're looking at probably almost 20 years of material. There's no way. Like I said, when I was adding it up at the table later on, when we were playing some other game, I got to 200 and I wasn't even there. I was maybe 2/3 of the way through. And I was like, no, I'm done. I can't pay that much for this game. However, if I had,
we'd get to play it all, it's so much to play.
It is a lot to play, but that adds to the replayability of the game too, which is why I want everything, because I want to play different versions because it's the same board. How can you have different adventures on the same board? They figured it out, bringing new villains, new heroes, cards that make you go in the underground, special quest cards that it has nothing to do with warlocks. You just have to complete this in a set amount of rounds. They gave you kind of a different objectives to do in the game while you're fighting and protecting Monarch City. So there are no generals advancing. You're on the timer to get all these this big quest done. And I was like, that's a neat idea. It's just a pack of cards. I say expansions. These are all mini expansions that go to the game, but it gets expensive after a while. So for that reason, I love you, Defenders of the Realm, but I'm going to have to pass. All right, what's
Yeah.
your? I don't know what number we're on.
I was dying at this point. Like my brain was like shutting off. I'm sure I would have enjoyed it more. And I do think the pieces were incredible. I think the game design
Yeah.
was really smart. But like the more I think about the game, the more I think you just play Hero Quest.
I know. I mean, that's fair, but I really enjoyed that game.
Yeah,
It
those
just shocked me. It shocked me that the game was smarter than I gave it credit for. All right,
Yeah.
so number 7.
Number 7, the final worker placement. I guess there might be others that are considered worker placements, but it's the one the other 2 games prepared me for. Lords of Waterdeep, the last game I checked out that we played.
It's excellent.
It's great. I'll be honest with you, it's probably a damn near perfect game. Be honest.
It is.
I have
It is.
no notes. I think everything. I remember watching Matt get a 25 pointer, and I'm sitting here thinking,
No, 40 pointer.
yeah, I was like, is this game broken?
Yeah.
Do I just lose? And you're like, no, don't worry. You're gonna
turn around. You're gonna turn it around. And not only did you catch up, but you beat me at the very end.
Yeah, the point system is fun. There's a lot of cool hidden point elements to it that are good. There's a lot of, I'll agree with you on this one. I don't think I could ever play without those expansions. The skull
You got to play.
corruption is genius.
It's genius. And even though for 4 and 5 players, I would definitely play with that. No, at 2 players, you want it. That you just want the extra actions really help. Plus, it's good. You take these big illegal actions, you get skulls, which could hurt you in the game. And sadly, didn't hurt him enough because he did beat me. But there were missions that got rid of skulls that saved your booty. It's always been a fun game. All you need to get upgraded is the metal coins that come just like that because they're regular D&D metal coins. And that's all the upgrades you need. Don't get the meeples instead of the cubes. You only need cubes.
No, you don't need them. But now I looked at them, I'm like, they're kind of nice.
I mean, that's fine. But even, have you seen the gems, the red gems that are points?
Oh,
I mean,
man,
the thing is, they're nice, but I don't need them. I just need the metal coin. That's all I need. I think that game is absolutely wonderful too. Yeah, definitely a good game. Probably a top 20 game for me in my collection right now.
Yeah,
my number, are we on 7 now? 7. One of the first games we played, Trick Shot hockey game. Now, here's the deal, and I've been waiting to tell you this because I looked up the advanced rules. We should have played the advanced rule. We should have played. What was I thinking? Playing Plain Jane. Advanced is where it's out because guess what? The setup's different. You spread out your men. The 2 big blockers, defenders. The guy, your bullies there, they go in the back. They go against the blue line because you want to get them to knock those wingers on their butt when they're coming down that aisle. That's super smart. That's where you want them. And the wingers are on the sides so that your center, the first action is to pass to one of them. And then they go running in. And then the advanced rule, and here's the deal, folks. I think we were playing first. There's a second edition out. I think we may have been playing first. But in the second edition, it says you either can move orthogonally or diagonally, but you must move your complete movement diagonal or orthogonal. You can't switch up. You can't do, 1, 2 diagonal, 3, 4 up. No, you have to move completely diagonal or completely orthogonally. And that's fair. And you can't, because if you run into someone, then you're going to get checked. Which I said, oh, wow, that's really smart. Now I see the game a little bit wiser. Oh, and by the way, you can do a poke, which means if someone stops in front of another player, they can roll 1 die, and on a puck roll, they can steal the puck away from you. Now it's theirs because they're right in front of you. I like that. There's a little bit more back and forth that way. Yeah, also,
it's good.
The reason we had extra guys, I could have kicked myself. In the game of hockey, if someone is losing and they need to do a last minute, full court press, they remove the goalie and bring out another player. You can do that. You can remove your goalie, put another player midfield, fast run, and have him charge in. Plus, when we play the advanced version, you pull a stadium card, which sets different rules for that stadium.
I saw those cards.
Also, and we saw these, but on those other the defender, captain, winger cards, there's a special ability. And the stadium tells you what 2 packs you can play with. And they're pretty well balanced. They're asymmetrical powers and abilities that they can have in the game that mitigate the dice, mitigate the movement and whatnot. And the game is, it looks to be uber fun when you're playing the advanced version. It's much better, not that the base game was fine. The base game was fine, but the advanced game looks like it got a little bit more real. It wasn't that advanced. And to be honest, this would be an insta-buy too, because my son loves hockey. And when I show him pictures, he wants this game so bad. He keeps asking about, when am I getting the hockey game? Daddy's not getting the hockey game because this sucker's going for $150.
It's not worth it. It's not worth that at all.
It's not. It's barely. I don't even. If it was $50, I would be balking at that price. If it was 1/3 of that price, I would have said that's too high. It's too high for such a simple game. Yet it is a fun game. It is a really stinking fun game. But unfortunately, number 7. All right. So number 6.
Number 6, we have Roth. WROTH.
I knew this would be up there.
It's funny. This is the same feeling I get, and I almost question myself in the same way that I questioned Matt on one, and that might be his number 1. I knew I could see the vision on how smart and replayable this game was just off the rip. The player abilities we got were the ones that were on the manual to start with. But there were so many different ones, and they're double-sided. There's so much replayability. It's area control, and there's a lot of fighting, and it is so smart how your die ends up being your characters that you can pay for to then place them there to potentially die to one of your other opponent's characters or abilities. There's so much interesting placement and back and forth on how you consume the map. I think it's visually, I love it, right? You got the neoprene mats, you got the dice that'll never scratch off, you got the little plastic things. However, the one I'm looking at has the metal ones, the actual metal pieces that are like the hand that's metal. That's crazy. Probably don't even need that, but it's cool.
Yeah.
The game design is really smart. There's a lot of game in there for a really small box too, which I really love. Outside of that, it's on my list. I will be picking it up. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, there you go. Roth, I didn't check this out, so it's not ranked for me. Roth, I agree with you. For something that looks very simple, it did have like the little dice that had special there were several different species you could fight as, and they all had these special abilities that could help you in the war. And what dice you picked was different depending on your race, of course. So yeah, it was interesting. It was an interesting game. My number 6 is going to be super high on this man's list, but it's my number 6 right now. It's Fromage or Formaggio. Take your pick your poison. The cheese making game. I told people about this. I found out about this game last year. I said, wow, this is one of 3 games I'm super interested in. I'm going to put this on my wish list, my Christmas wish list. My family only gave me the White Castle, which is fun, but after a few plays, I've realized the strategy is flat. I didn't enjoy my last game. It's up on the trading block. I got Merv the Silk Road, which is now I don't know. I cannot count the games I played, but it's one of the best games I have played. One of the absolute best games I have played this year has been Merv the Silk Road. And I chose it over Fromage. And do I regret it? No. I still think Merv the Silk Road may be the better game, though we did play Fromage and Formaggio twice. So basically I played this game 4 times. Between the 2 of them, and I've told Bernardo this, I think Fromage is better, but I will always play Formaggio. There's a lot of things I like about Formaggio too. And we were talking about how we wish we could kind of combine both games. Now, do you need both games?
You can.
Do you need both games? Yeah, I think you kind of do, because after a while, I think you would want to get a different way to score and have different strategies and whatnot. Now, I watched a lot of reviews when we got home.
Same.
Did you hear this complaint? They're wondering how much it holds up after so many plays, doing the same 4 actions. That's true. That's true. What makes it different? Well, the cards you pick may determine where you put your cheese. Your player board you're playing with would definitely change your strategy up, because you go for the strength there. And then, of course, how to interact, because what if players do something different on their turns and grab the cheese you wanted? You have to. So there's some fair, valid points there. It doesn't deter me away from this game, but like I said, I still love Fromage. I think it's excellent, and again, for next Christmas, I'm thinking about putting this back on the list.
Yeah, I
See if
think,
anyone will bite this time.
I'll add my notes when I get to it on my list. It's on there.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. No, that's fair. All right,
Yeah.
so go ahead. He's going to talk about it later, but go ahead and talk about we're in the top 5 now, right?
Yeah, baby.
Oh, this is where everything is solid for me. Everything is solid. Absolute gold for me. All right, so go ahead.
Number 5.
We're going to have 2 that are in the same one. Yes, that is my number 5 as well. Let's talk about it. That's my number, and mine comes in tomorrow.
Yeah, so here's the funny thing. So we played the classic version. Later found out the all-in is really the way to go, because CMYK owns the game, and if they make
the new
anything
version,
new,
yeah,
it's gonna be the new version. So why go backwards?
Yeah.
It also saved us like an exponential amount of money, because the geeked up bits were $70 to get what this game comes with. Insane. But that's just the gripe on the original. When he first picked it up to play, I kind of rolled my eyes, because I see it so much online. It is one of those games I look at, I'm just like, I don't get it. I hated the Tiffenthal game with the beer, and it's the same people that did that. And I'm like, I'm not gonna like this game. And we're learning the rules, and I'm like, what am I missing? Why are people like this game? And then we start getting to the pressure luck element, where you're bag building, you're reaching into your bag, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna keep going. And it's like what I imagine being Don't Stop probably feels like.
It's push your luck. It's a bag builder that is also push your luck. And the thing is, I'm terrible at push. I love push your luck games.
Same.
Like there's one called Quartz, and it was fun, but I always busted. There's a Disney version with the 7 dwarves. I love that theme better. But Quartz is a great game. Now, Can't Stop. You're going to beat me on some Can't Stop, but Can't Stop is too. We should. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should have got you that. It takes just a few minutes to play, and you can't stop. You want to, but you can't stop. Quacks, on top of being push your luck, is a bag builder where you decide at the end of the round what new potion ingredients you want to put in your bag. And this is the other beautiful thing about the game. Depending on which side of the potion book you're using, those tokens do different things every game. And you can have different combos every game. And we just scratched the surface of the possibilities and the replayability of this game. So it was really amazing. I was the same way. I only wanted to check it out just to get it. I said, I bet this is, that was cute, and move on. I honestly thought that would be the game. It'd be like, okay, that was fun. Not for me. I get why people like it, but I'm fine. I got my one play. But about halfway in, we were playing it, and we kind of looked around. We were all of us were like, "This is solid. This is real. This is a real game. This is real
at
solid
first
stuff."
I felt like I wasn't getting it. I was like, "Oh, these do this and this," and then it clicks, and you're looking at the board, and you're like,
"Yeah,
oh my god, this is so good. It's such a great game."
It is a great game. All right, so what is number 4 then, sir? Since you picked our number 5 together, we have another crossover happening soon. Is it happening now?
I don't know. Number 4 is the game I got coming in tomorrow called Gizmos.
Okay.
Oh, that was so. I love engine building as a design. There's not very many engine building games I can think of, if any, that I actually like. But I like the concept. This reminds me of what I wish Space Base was. And if you're not familiar, it's like a Catan game. You roll dice. Oh, what happened? Oh, cool. I'm going to upgrade this. Oh, cool. What did you roll? Oh, this does this. I hate that because it's too random. There's no zero strategy, and it's just roll your die and see what happens. And for that, I just play Catan personally. This game had this really beautiful die thing, which ours are going to be, which ours was plastic, theirs was cardboard. Did not change the gameplay at all. It was still fun. You have this little funnel where the marbles are mixed up, and the little funnel has a stream of colored marbles. You choose one, the rest fall down, and you utilize your abilities and pay with your marbles to upgrade your engine. And your engine is also what gets you your victory points. And if you get too many cards, which I think, what was it, 17, then the game ends, which is scary because you want to try to get a higher point count. So I'm over here getting the big points in the first game. And Matt was like, ended the game so early that like the first one I got, then the next one I tried to do the same thing, and it backfired because he got a faster engine of the little cards. It was such a smart game. I could see infinite replayability on it just based on the cards alone. It was way more fun than it needed to be. I was blown away. I knew the little mechanism with the marble. Like, oh, that's really cool. It's what we were hoping Potion Explosion was going to be. Two marble teams. That would be hilarious. But easiest buy ever.
Yeah, easiest buy ever. I agree. We played it. Where it succeeds, where Potion Explosion failed, is there's only one marble tunnel, and you're dropping them in a pile of marbles, and you're mixing through them too. So the marbles will always generate different things every time. So just the design is much better. But on top of that, there's so many cards. We built two different engines both times, had two completely different games. And after we played that first game, I looked at you, you looked at me, and what I was about to say, before you said, you want to play it again? I didn't want to be a greedy goblin and say that, because I was like, well, let's play Bernardo's game next. Let's not play Matt's game twice. But I was about to say, if you don't mind, I'd like to play this later on this week, is what I was going to tell you. I wasn't going to say, let's do it again, because I want to be respectful and give you your turn. But you looked at me and went, you want to play again? I went, yes, I do. And it dawned on both of us at that time. That was a fantastic game.
I thought about wanting to play it every day after that too, but like we just didn't have the time. It was so good.
Yeah, it is so good. Okay, so that was actually my number 3.
Ooh.
HMU. Want to connect about Alliance and Legends, but probably don't remember. It's been years. No, I don't. But hello, Lego Wookie dude. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's been years. I hope you've been well. We're talking board games right now. I also do board game reviews, which no one watches, but that's okay. Welcome. But Gizmos, to me, it was number 3. It's number 3. It's a good game. There's another one that I really, 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 really enjoyed. I didn't think I would. I thought I wouldn't say I didn't think I would. I thought, let me see what's wrong with this game so I can get it out of my system, because I'd forgotten about it, saw it on the shelf when we were looking through the library, and went, oh, I wanted to play that game so bad when it came out. And then I just totally forgot about it. Vinyl. You're collecting records in a record store.
Number 1 for you.
And it is it exceeded expectations for me. And the thing is, I know about the expansions. I know there is a Masters of Metal where it changes the game up. You're also collecting memorabilia, like a drumstick from a concert, a t-shirt from their tour, a belt buckle, a special pin or whatnot that gives you extra victory points on top of the record if you're collecting their set. Awesome 80s, which you are in the 80s where records are basically being phased out. We were still listening to records in the 80s, but the tape was coming into play. But records, now they bring in a new decade of 80s stuff. So now you have more decades to mess with. But also there's another thing where you can get your 80s record upgraded, like have it graded so it can be a little bit higher, worth more points. British Invasion, which takes you back to the 60s, where people put on headphones and listen to record players for that single and went, yeah. And they'd buy the 45 and then later on get the album. If you can match the 45 with the album, that's extra points. That's British Invasion. each one of these play big band. It brings in swing and jazz, and it's a totally you get rid of all the other cards. You just play big band as a standalone, where you're just collecting all swing, all jazz. You cannot have any other collection. You can't mix the two collections, and you're trying to get the best swing and the best jazz together. And I can't remember, but the speed and tempo of your record player allows you to get certain records. And I haven't checked all that, but one of the ones I think is so dear, they put it as a Kickstarter exclusive, Season's Greetings, which is a Christmas one. You go back to the 40s, even on this one, and you're listening to Christmas music. You are decorating the tree with records, of course. Yeah, but the thing is, though, when I was a kid, we would listen to records and decorate the tree. Today, and for years, ever since I've had a record player, I always play Christmas music through my record player while I'm decorating the tree. There's something about record player music, Christmas music, I just love. When I saw that, and you have to set them up, you're trying to match diagonally on your tree, and you have a card you pick randomly that tells you what certain items you want on that row. So not only do you have to find something that matches, but you also want the candy cane or the gingerbread man next, and the star next, and the angel here, because that will give you extra bonus points if you complete your tree. So you're also looking at ornaments as well as matching things on the record labels. And it's just a simple game. It was a Kickstarter exclusive. But the thing is, I was like, oh my goodness. So, and the records can be funny. They can be drifting. Some can be funny. Some are just regular. They're all fake. But for some reason, this game really struck a chord with me. Vinyl music joke. And this is one that I'm hoping to get in a trade with Noble Knight. I really think it's great.
Yeah. I'm curious to see if you do end up getting it, what your thoughts are the more you play it.
Yeah.
It didn't hit the mark for me, but I knew it reminded me of the same reason why I like Roth is like I just knew, and I guess you had the same feeling. So that's good.
You know, when you know, you know. All right, so number 3.
Number 3 is the game we played second last day. I think it was late. It could have been the last day. I might be misremembering. Yado.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Freaking Yado. I knew I wanted to get Matt to teach me this game because I had wanted it since he first talked about it on his channel. I was like, man, this looks great. I have to try it because the whole ninja theme. I was like, this is really cool. And I even found a really funny, easy way to like teach it to people after playing it myself, and it took a little bit to click. And I was like, oh, this is funny because like you start off, you're picking your mission as a ninja, and I'm like, I'm just gonna kidnap someone's wife, someone's daughter. I'm just kidnapping everyone. Was all I was reading. I didn't read the points. I didn't even read the whole card. I didn't even know what I was doing. I just saw the funny missions and said, at the very least, I'm gonna laugh that I'm kidnapping all these people. And then it clicked, and I was like, oh, I just gotta go here. Oh, and I just need this. What is the symbol? Oh, I go here, get this. Oh, this is cool. Now all of a sudden we're completing all these missions as this ninja, and I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. It's such a smart game. It was a crap ton of fun. The deluxe version I can only dream of. Right when I was gonna buy it on BGG, I found fraud on my card, which I wasn't able to purchase it because I had to get that cleared up. However, good thing I didn't buy it because my friend I was telling him about it says he had the deluxe version. He doesn't want it, and he's giving it to me. So I'm lit. So that is
wow.
So that's gonna be a game I own when I see him, and I'm very excited. But Yado, yeah, ninja game.
Awesome. I love it. All right, so
that's frozen.
I will go.
Oh, Matt got booted. I'm gonna double check with him. Yeah, Yado's great. No notes, get the deluxe version. The other one isn't as pretty. Let me see where he's at.
I'm here. I don't know what happened.
Cool.
It just kind of froze up and dropped me. That was my internet, though. That wasn't me. That's weird. Okay, sorry about that. I did hear your last bit, though, and then you froze up. Well, I froze up, obviously. I say you froze up. So here we go. I got to edit mine. I was into editing mine, and then suddenly everything froze. Like, hey, what's going on here? I thought it was just loading there. Okay, so now I'm on number 2, And these are ones that you already talked about that I'm going to correct you on because they are just excellent games. I'll get. We all have different tastes. And Pulsar 2849. I was told I was going to like this game by BGG. I looked at the board. The board looks very boring. There's a lot of black. There's a lot of non. It just doesn't look as good. And plus, space. I don't really have that many space games. Not that they're bad. It just, I already have Twilight Imperium, and that's one of my favorite games. Why do I need something else in space? I need this game. And what? And Firefly, yeah. But I need this game. And it was really good. And my spirit animal, that lady who played the game, said, "Oh, you're gonna love this game." And suddenly she's like 50 something, 60. I don't know what she was, but she was beautiful to me. She's beautiful. She was married too, obviously, because she has a good taste in games. But this game was actually really good. I learned it. I don't think it's broken because I visited planets last minute. The thing is, if you could have gotten was it you or Jesse could have gotten one more technology, you could have cast in your cubes for more points. Those 3 in-game objectives. You got one.
Oh yes, really, me. Yeah, his was the collecting the area.
Yeah, if you would have gotten one more of those, like all 3 objectives to cash in your cubes, and on top of the victory points you get, you don't even remember this. I don't think you were even with me until we added up the very last points, which was the planet, how many planets we visited. But you were so far behind me at that point, and you zoomed up because you had tons of cubes. You didn't want to use the red die because it was lower the last 3 rounds. A 1 was left over. I don't want to use that. What do I do with all these cubes? You cash them in for huge victory points is what you do, and it's wonderful. And the thing is, we didn't even use the tiles. I guess just were over to the side. The bonus tile, I had one that gave me let me cash in 1 cube at a time, or it would have been too powerful, 5 victory points. But the thing is, if we each could have gotten some of those rolling, or if you gotten more pulsars going earlier, or there's a ton of special abilities we did not do on that. We did not take little markers on that board for. This game just leaves a lot more to the imagination that I'm willing to investigate and look into more too. There's a lot of gameplay here, a lot of different strategies. The problem with Freshwater Fly was you needed large die. It made no sense to get low die. And Pulsar, if you get a low die, you're doing good. You can buy the warps and then activate them later with high die. You can buy the dice multipliers, the +2s, the +1s. That'll come in. You can stock those up too. And can you imagine? Because I thought about another strategy would be to stock up, because you can use as many as you want, it says. So what if you were slowly stocking up throughout the game? Then you picked a 6 at the very end. Then you played all 18 points worth of your other multipliers, and you sailed across the galaxy at the very end. But it's exploration. It's about exploration, but it's about manipulation of the science, getting the science to work for you, is getting those in-game points, building those space stations. There's several paths to victory, I think, here, and there's a lot more to this game than I knew, and I was blown away. I did not want to play. I was a little worried. I'll be honest. When that lady came up to me and said, "You're going to love this game," I was so happy to hear that, because I was thinking, setting up, man, this looks like a kind of chitsy game. It's mostly dark. The pieces are those chitsy clear plastic. I don't know about this, man, but it's not the look of the game. It's how it's played. And Pulsar 2849 plays beautifully. Beautiful.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that one.
Yeah, I don't have Star Wars Outer Rim. It's so weird because being a Star Wars fan, you think I'd have more Star Wars games, but I only have 2. And I've gotten rid of the rest now. No, 3. Never mind. I have Epic Duels. I have Queen's Gambit. Both are great. Epic Duels is now, is now unmatched. Queen's Gambit will soon be King's Gambit. And the only one I have is the Han Solo game, which is just called Sabacc. Those are the games I have, but I don't have any Star Wars. It's weird. And we were going to play Battle for Hoth, but there were other games to play, and I already have Battle Cry. So, but I do like the idea of Battle for Hoth. But anyway, so what is number 2 for you?
Number 2 is Formaggio.
Oh, you joker. I know what you're doing here. I know what you're doing. I should have guessed it. Go ahead.
So, Formaggio, the cheese game. So, this one is Italian cheese. And So man, these games are so smart. I didn't know I was gonna want to like it. Man, I was like, oh, that's a game to play. I was like, oh, those pieces look really cool. We should play it. Took a little while to find it. I go find it. It was sold out. Um, we were originally looking for Fromage, and then this guy was there helping me find it, and I was like, oh, does he work here? Whatever. No, he doesn't. He just helped me find Fromage at the time, and um, and I'm going to check it out. He's like, hey, do you? I'd play with you if you have enough space. And I'm like, wait, do you know how to play this? I was like, I called Matt. I was like, well, I'm bringing this guy up. He's gonna teach us how to play. This is great. so so we get there and we start playing. We played that. Then he comes back later and he's like, hey, I found Formaggio, because people kept checking these games out. They were all checked out. And this was his favorite version. And a lot of people seem to have similar opinions. And there's a lot of, I watched just about every video on it when we got back. But for Formaggio is much like Fromage. You have this triangle character, this colored cheese character. You got blue, white, and orange. And it's pointed like a triangle. So depending on which position you place it on, right, you want to try to get set collection, area control, a bunch of different things for the cheese. And in this, you have set collection with the bottles. You got area control times the number of flags, which is the Italian flag. And what's smart about it is it's this turntable, right? Lazy Susan. So when you rotate it to the next point, if the triangle's pointed toward you, so if the character's pointed toward you, you get it back. So knowing when and how long you're able to afford to lose your character for in the game determines, what moves you make, from making cows to then spend them to drop a cheese as an extra bonus. You can only put one character in a spot plus one at the top to collect a resource. It's such a smart thing. The game mechanism that gives you resources depending on where you're at on the board is really great too, because it's going to give you resources for 2 spots in the game that you're not going to get to until later, like the last half of the game, or the last half of the rotation. So getting those resources early allows it so makes it so you don't lose out on them. Like some people might end up getting the berries, and berries are worth a lot of points, but somebody's in front of it, they're going to get a lot. So you get those early as well, just to be, ahead of the game for it, so you're not left behind. Such a smart game mechanism. It plays really well at 2-player. Me and Matt flew through this game in probably 25 minutes. It has these little slide-in pieces for 4-player, 2-player, and 3-player, and they're double-sided, so you actually get multiple configurations as well, and it blocks off certain parts for you, so you don't got to know, we don't use this for this. It streamlined itself so well for every player count. I can't rave about this enough. We played for 2, we played 3, and we played 4 players in the game. What an excellent game. Formaggio has this really cool area where you have these gondolas that you're putting around, and you're scoring for each gondola is pointed towards you. You have the area control on the map. You have these bonus premium spots that are pointed straight up, so you won't see it for 4 turns, so it's a risk to even get it, but it's worth a lot of points if you get both, or if you score in a certain pathway. It's such a smart game. This game blew me away. It wasn't on my list. It wasn't on my radar. I never heard of this game. And I'm glad I played it.
Issues.
So I said number 2 for Maggio.
Okay. Go ahead and talk about the next one, just in case.
Number 1 is Fromage.
Yeah.
So I ranked them both. I got to put them both side by side, but I didn't want to.
That's fine.
Fromage is the first one we played. It is a simpler game, in my opinion, a lot easier to teach. They're both very easy. If you're worried about one being heavier than the other, it's not that it's heavier. It's just a lot more streamlined. There's a lot less pieces to it. With the Formaggio, you got the little gondola, so you get that little scoring pathway. I think Formaggio is way better of a game at 4-player. I don't think it's that good at 2. Matt and I played it at 2. It felt like there was a lot of runaway leader moments, depending on what pathway you chose. In his case with the cards, I don't think that would have even been possible in a 4-player game. We saw that when we played it the first time in a 3-player game, where that didn't even matter because he did the same thing and it did not hold as much weight because the other guy won. with the berries. And in Fromage, I think it plays amazingly in all player accounts. And one of the things, I don't know if you saw in the rules, was those little slide-in sheets are double-sided. So you get 2 different ways to play in each player account, which is great. The same mechanism, right? Characters pointed toward you. Lazy Susan. Apparently, the Lazy Susan and Formaggio is better. I think owning both makes sense. They are designed as standalone expansion, but you can't intertwine and swap up the cheese pass. I probably would just keep them how they are. I think playing one into the other is great rather than just replaying Fromage. You just go to Formaggio. I think adds that really nice layer to it. I've watched a lot of reviews, much like Matt mentioned. There are people that say, they wonder if it's going to get stale. I think just playing one to the other is perfectly fine. There's a bunch of different ways you can score to where you just change your path to victory and it changes the game for you. I love that it's simultaneous. The games move quick. The game doesn't overstay its welcome. I would be more worried about it being too samey if 1, the setup time was long, and 2, the game lasted an hour. But like Matt and I played a 2-player game in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it all depends on the players. Analysis paralysis. Well, we even saw it when our first game with the one guy, because he took probably the longest playing, which was fine. It didn't feel like a long game even with that, which was great. Which is great. I was blown away. Like, I immediately had to figure out to buy where I could buy it. I was gonna try to buy it there, but they didn't have the limited version, which is the one with the wooden pieces. And I'm a deluxe boy, so I got those coming in the mail. Those will be here Saturday.
Oh, nice! Look at you, the deluxe board.
Both of them, yeah, both games. Yeah. I ordered those when we were there from Game Nerds. Very excited.
At you.
$70 though for a deluxe version. It had some nice pieces. It was nice.
Well, you wanted it.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose sleep over that game. Like, I'm trying to force a game night on Saturday to play those games.
Oh man, those will be fun games. So I knew this would be, and they are fun. I do enjoy them both. My number one was way down on his list, but Praga Kaput Regini. This is one that had been suggested a billion times on BGG, and I had so many games that kept saying, go back to this. It looks ugly. And when I found out that the tiles they're double-sided, you can do either or actions, and the wheel that you turn it on doesn't always have it has more spots than tiles. So the bonus action is always different. So you want this bonus action, but you don't have the tile that matches up with the bonus action you want to do. Bernardo was showing me, I thought planting the city was the dumbest thing in the world. But Bernardo really took it to his advantage and started scoring some huge points on that.
So Callie swooped in and like took so much. She won, right?
She took a lot. No, I won at the end because I made it to the bridge. Jesse made it to the bridge and didn't have an egg. I made it to the bridge and had an egg, and then had another egg to play the next round. And the bridge actions, now to be honest, it was the very last round when I made it there. But I was able to score some big points that caught me up. Well, maybe Callie did win.
I want to say she won. I want to say she like
that one. But I caught up really. I caught it really fast at the end, going down that road, the King's Road, as they say. She did. That's right, she did. But there's so many different pathways to victory. And I was like, yeah, that's a solid game. I already own the game. It came in today, so hallelujah. I'm looking at Project 2849 tonight later on because I think it's great. But yeah, this was my. No, I'm sorry. Pulsar 2849. But the thing is, though, this is a fantastic game. So there you go, folks. There is our top games of BGG Spring Con. Overall, I had a blasty blast. I want to go back. I want to bring Luke. Luke's got to come with us and play this. There's games I'd want to play. I really did have a wonderful, wonderful time. It is going to be the highlight of my year, which tells you how well I'm expecting things to go this year. But I honestly is probably the best thing I've done this year or will do this year. So thank you for that.
That was a ton of fun. Yeah. Thanks for that as well. And Matt's a jerk. He made me bet on something. He had 4 items in Yato, and decided to force me to bet on it. And then at the end, after I bought it, I was like, wait, you have all 4. What were you doing? He was like, I just wanted you to bet more. I was like, this jerk.
I did. I got him to bet more.
That
It was great.
Good. That was funny.
It was great. It was a great time. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. But anyway, folks, okay, well, that's it for us. We'll see you next time. There's going to be lots of, we talk every night now. So we're going to do this more often because it's the least watched stream on my channel. So you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you for watching if you did watch all the way through. And we will see you next time on Vintage Voltron.